guys, how's it going? It's Al, week 17 on DraftKings. It's New Year's weekend. I hope that you guys have yourself a very safe and happy New Year's Eve. After watching football this Sunday, we have got a big slate, 13 games, which means that we are going to have a very star-studded 5 under 5 video where we're going to talk about players that I think you need to fit into your NFL DFS tournament lineups. We're going to build a pick 'em over on Underdog Fantasy and take a look over at Fantasy Labs to talk about how we're going to go about building 150 lineups for this slate. If you wanted access to my weekly cheat sheet and our community Discord, go to smizzle.tv/Discord. You can become a server subscriber directly in there for $5 a month. It's very simple to do. Just use the link smizzle.tv/Discord. You get access to the VIP rooms in Discord to chat with all of the other members of our community, as well as the weekly cheat sheet that is live in the Discord right now. Comes out every Friday for NFL season. Thank you guys for being here. Drop a like on the video, subscribe to the channel, ring the notifications bell, and let's go.
He's a legend.
The Smiz Gang Listener League is posted, but it is not in the DraftKings lobby. As always, it's $10 to enter. As always, it's absolutely no rake and 3 max. You have to go to smizzle.tv/links, and you'll find the Listener League link in the link tree, as well as the link to the Discord, the Smizzle Fantasy Football channel, and everything else that I do. So go and join the Listener League, get your 3 entries, and while you're there, it's absolutely free to click everything else. So follow me on Instagram, follow me on TikTok, follow the Al Smizzle Fantasy Football channel, and everything else, and make sure you join the Discord after you put your 3 entries in the Listener League at smizzle.tv/links. Thank you guys for playing. Let's fill it before lineups lock, and let's get to the 5 under 5 for this week. At number 1, at 4%, Jonathan Taylor, 7,300. I think he's getting squeezed a little bit because he's priced at 7,300, and it's either a high or a low day because of the 13 games on the slate. There's more running backs in play. Everybody's paying all the way up to go get Christian McCaffrey, or they're going all the way down to get the really low-priced running backs, Zamir White, Clyde Edwards-Helaire. There's plenty of guys in around the 6K range. And the players in this 7,000 range are going to kind of get forgotten about just a little bit. There's even guys around his range that are going to be played a little bit more than him. So like he's getting pushed out enough, and it's not like he doesn't have the big playability. It's not like they're not playing at home in a dome. Yes, Las Vegas has played a lot tougher since Pierce took over as their head coach, but Jonathan Taylor should be seeing a heavy dose just like he has for the last month. And with that usage, we can expect massive output from him more often than not. In his locker, he's always had big playability. We have not seen that over the last 4 games. 13-yard long, 17-yard long, 10-yard long, 13. But in the games before that, a 42-yard run, we saw a 24-yard run, we saw a 40-yard reception. That is something he has done better than most other players in the league at the running back position. Him, Nick Chubb, Derrick Henry. 2 of those guys are not the same. Nick Chubb might be done with the new knee injury that he had this year. Derrick Henry might be cooked as well on the wrong side of the thousands of carries that he's had in college and in the pros. But Jonathan Taylor still might have a lot more left in the tank, and I think we're going to see more long runs from him over the rest of his career. 4 touchdowns the last 3 weeks against some very tough defenses in Atlanta, Tampa Bay, New England. 3 extremely tough defenses against running backs. Yes, Las Vegas, also a tough defense since Pierce took over. But again, that's all baked in to that percentage at under 5. This is a good swing to take. And so is Austin Ekeler at 6,700. Squeezed because, one, again, much like I said about Derrick Henry, he might be done, unfortunately, because I really enjoy watching Austin Ekeler play football over the years. Love listening to him on podcasts. I think that he's a good guy. However, the injuries are starting to mount up. People are running away from playing him. He's projected at 4%, and he's only 6,700 against a Denver defense that, yes, if we take out the Miami game, they're kind of middling in terms of defense versus position against the running backs, because they gave up 4,000 rush yards and 27 touchdowns in one game like 14 weeks ago. But he still has good enough usage in the way that they're deploying him. 19 opportunities this week against Las Vegas. Nobody was going to do well because they were down 65-0 at halftime, but still got 6 targets in that game. 17 opportunities, 7 of them coming through the air against Denver, and another 17 opportunities against New England, with 3 coming through the air. Denver is a gettable defense for running backs. I still love the usage that's coming his way for 6,700. And with as much usage as he gets when they get inside the 5-yard line, I do like Austin Ekeler's touchdown prop in terms of scoring at any point during this game. If Easton Stick can run the offense a little bit efficiently, or the defense can get a turnover here or there against Denver benching Russ Wilson, we have an opportunity where possibly we can take advantage at 6,700 and get ourselves a 20+ point day, much like he did against Denver in week 14, which would be more than enough at 6,700 if the other running backs in his range fail. Let's head over to Underdog Fantasy and take a look at what we have on tap. If you do not have an account over at Underdog Fantasy, you can use promo code ALSMIZZLE, ALSMIZZLE, all one word, and get up to a $100 deposit bonus on your first deposit to the site. I've got the two guys that were using this video. I've got the anytime touchdown for Austin Ekeler. It's a little spicy. It gives us a little bit of a multiplier here. And higher than 75.5 rushing yards, we'll play that for 100 to win 375 for those two guys that we've already mentioned. Give me that multiplier. That's my ticket for this week on this video, and I wish you the best of luck. If you are playing over at Underdog Fantasy, you might as well pick up those $100 that they're just sitting, waiting for you. Use my code when you sign up. At wide receiver, DJ Moore, 6,600, coming off of 2 subpar weeks against Arizona and Cleveland. I'm going to throw this game against Cleveland just completely out. Cleveland has been extremely good all year long against opposing passing games. They're the best defense in the league on an EPA basis, EPA per play basis. Just they're the Russian judge defensively. Throw all your results out against them. Against Detroit, 26.8. Against Minnesota, 25.4. In games where he's played with Justin Fields, he's been tremendous. And I want to go back to a player at 6,600 where he is going to be underplayed, projected at 4.5% right now. We get an opportunity at ceiling games we've seen in the past from him. 26, 25, as many as 52 points in a 30-point game against Denver early in the season as well. Atlanta does have solid cornerback play. However, the way that they deploy DJ Moore is similar to the way that Indianapolis deploys Michael Pittman, where they program in a lot of cheap and easy screen touches for him and allow him to get a solid floor of catches, which gives us much more of an opportunity for a ceiling if he was to break contain on one of those screen plays, as well as utilizing him and deploying him downfield, down the seam, down the sideline, and on post plays as well. He can win anywhere on the field. 6,600 is right in that range where other more chalky plays are, like Rashee Rice, like Chris Olave. So he's getting forgotten at that same range. Anything can happen at wide receiver, and if you want to take a shot at a high volume play at a mid-range price that's way off the chalk, that we can correlate with plays on the other side as well, DJ Moore makes a lot of sense. AJ Brown also makes a lot of sense. He's just pricey. This is a clear pay up to be contrarian play. The Philadelphia Eagles have gone extremely run heavy for the last month. They've acquiesced to what the mob wants them to do. However, AJ Brown has still gotten an awful lot of targets. 11, 10, 13, and 13 the last 4 games. They have played, outside of like the Giants, they played an absolute gauntlet of defenses like for a while now. Since like this Washington, Miami is a very good defense. They put up 31 on them. Dallas, tremendous defense. Kansas City, solid defense. Buffalo, whatever. San Francisco, one of the best teams in the league. Dallas again. Seattle, they've given up points, but like that's not a team that you can bully around all the time. Giants are the Giants. They are what they are. But like Arizona's a team that you can get right against. We watched Fields just kind of shred them in the first half last week. You're going to get anything that you want against this Arizona Cardinals defense. And I kind of feel like this is an interesting spot for the Philadelphia Eagles to get this Jalen Hurts offense to do more than just push their way to touchdowns. This is a game to set the tone, to recalibrate, to regain the momentum that they had earlier in the season when AJ Brown was completely unstoppable on the same or similar volume to what they had before. The Cardinals are not equipped to stop any defense, let alone, any offense, or let alone one that is as potent as this Philadelphia Eagles offense. And AJ Brown at 4% at 8,600 gives you a pay up to be contrarian option. You're going to have to get off something that other people are paying up to be on, kind of like Christian McCaffrey or Kyren Williams. But this is going to offer you an opportunity to do so. There's enough value to be able to afford anything you want on this 13-game slate. So taking a shot at a potential slate breaker is never a bad idea. which brings us to Cooper Kupp at 1.5%. I just mentioned how the Giants were the Giants, and Cooper Kupp has had 30 targets the last 3 games, 28 points or more in 2 of those 3. He's 8,100. They're playing the Giants. I'm not understanding. I mean, I am understanding. It's a 13-game slate. There's 26 teams to choose from. There's a lot of ways that you can go. But the salaries are so friendly this week because it's late in the season. It's week 17. There's so many injuries that are out there that it makes it super accessible to get whatever you want. And with as many people that want to play Tyrod Taylor, you could go with Tyrod, pick one receiver, whether it's going to be Darren Waller or whatever, and bring it back with Cooper Kupp with a skinny on that side. You can play Cooper Kupp as a standalone. If you go with a cheaper stack, you can get different with him very easily and have access to a ceiling without needing to have other things fail and not having to sell out completely on stars and scrubs. There's more than enough money available on the slate this week to get there with massive volume. Is it out of the realm of possibility that Cooper Kupp can put up a 15-target game against this New York Giants team while scoring 2 touchdowns? He has 3 touchdowns in the last 4, only not scoring one last week against the New Orleans Saints in a game that they won 30-22. Cooper Kupp still has enough juice on the days that he stays on the field. That ankle looked real good against Washington and Baltimore. I'm not sure why we would fade him completely against this Giants defense. Let's head over to Fantasy Labs, and if you do not have an account over at Fantasy Labs, go to smizzle.tv/labs with an uppercase L. The best value that they offer is the 6-month all sports package where you'll get NHL, MLB, NBA, NFL, golf, everything, projections, and a lineup builder for all of them. If you wanted to stop the video or screenshot, this is where I kind of start every single week with my positional rules. I have a custom rule where I force at least one player where a running back or wide receiver are less than 12%. And if you wanted to include the 5 players from this video, you can build a custom group where at least one of the 5 players from the 5 under 5 video are included. We'll project that. Boom, build 150. Let's build by ceiling today, because sometimes you got to live a little bit. Generate those 150 lineups and realize that you're going to have to spend more time than just clicking the green generate button and think you're going to print money. It's not going to work like that. You do have to work in your allocations, your combinations, your correlations. And if you wanted to learn more, this video right here can tell you in depth in about 15 to 20 minutes everything that I know about how to use the Fantasy Labs lineup builder if you wanted a more in-depth approach on how to utilize it for building NFL lineups. Thank you guys for watching. Good luck this weekend.